Technologist Forum, July. What is today? July 10th. Look at these guys coming up with camera presence co-hosts today. Wow, I love it. I love it. Listen, what's going on with you guys? What's going on?
It's loving life, getting stuff done.
Well, see, Greg, don't listen to Matt. Wakes up at like 2 a.m. So he's been up and at it forever compared to everyone else.
Forever.
Everyone else. Listen, I see everyone jumping in. I see a lot. We've got a lot of channels that are linked today. We're going to have a great discussion. Appreciate everyone. If you got a question or a comment for us, because these are discussions as opposed to interviews, put a Q in it so I can see it, my moderators can see it, and we can put that on the screen appropriately. We want to talk about camera presence. We want to talk about showing up, content creation, digital entrepreneurs, folks that do this for a living, not just for fun, but also for a business, and really want to show up from a business perspective, right? And we have some interesting dialogue in our Notion tab, in our Notion database, about what that means and how each of us effectively does that. I've got some stuff out of left field I'm going to throw at Matt. Matt came through. Greg, you got to admit, Matt came through with some gems. But I got a couple of things that's probably going to hit you both out of right field that I do also for camera presence. I love the bullet and the items that you came up with. But let's start here. And I'm going to pick on the guy who had to go and change clothes. I'm going to put your business out there in these streets. So we're going to pick on you first, Greg. When we say camera presence, when we say showing up, because you had a fantastic session yesterday. And again, when you bring on high scale creators, when you bring on people who are out there making $400,000 off of one brand deal, right? When you bring on those caliber types of folks,
that, huh? You caught that.
Come on, brother. Listen,
you caught that one, huh?
We don't just. I didn't just. We do this. We do this. How do you show up when you're interviewing, when you're talking to folks like that? What's your thought when we brought up the conversation about camera presence for digital entrepreneurs?
The first thing that comes to mind is just confidence. I think that's 90% of it. And so there's two things: there's confidence, and there's getting comfortable talking to the camera, whether you're with someone or not, because it's going to show through with your energy, right? And so it's like, I think that most people don't know that a photo or a video it kind of dulls your energy, right? And so I usually tell people when I'm training them on how to get in and out of a video, like if I'm recording, if I'm asking someone for a testimony, I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, start with a big goofy smile. And I say that specifically because it's like, I know in editing, we got to go into it and get out of it. And I know that if they're just standing there, that a regular smile, it's not going to be as bright and as engaging unless it's a big goofy smile. And so when I ask for them for a big goofy smile, and if they don't give me one, I'm like, no, that's not big enough. I give me a big goofy smile. It's you get that energy. So when it comes to video, you have to put a little more effort into it. You got to turn up a couple notches so that energy comes through on camera.
Make it plain, Pastor. You got to turn up just a little bit. And the big goofy smile, that seems to be what's popular, especially when you think of thumbnails, right? It's the exaggerated pose. It's what are you pointing to? I don't know. One week I'm pointing to a camera. Next week I'm pointing to a YouTube logo, whatever. But I got this one image of me looking exaggerated, goofy pose and all that. Mr. Haas, what are your thoughts when you just hear that statement and someone asks you to explain?
Oh yeah,
what is your camera? Look, he's ready, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Haas is primed up. We might have to go full screen for him on this. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, 100%. The camera dulls your performance. I tell people, you got to amp it up ×3, because what you're saying might be fine talking one-to-one with someone in person, but when you're on that camera, it just dulls you. So whatever your normal tone, whatever your normal personality is, you've got to amp it up ×3. Then you'll you'll come across okay. And as far as that smile goes, don't ever try and get like a screen grab when someone's talking, because your mouth does very strange things. If you don't have that smile on the first frame, you're never gonna find a perfect shot in between your dialogue. Start with that smile. That's brilliant. I love it.
Well, we will see because I just took a screen grab just now, and in our back channel, I'll post it of what it looks like. Again, it's probably me, one eye looking this way, the other eye looking that way, and you guys are probably perfect. But I'll keep snapping them as we keep moving through. Um, I want to go down that list that you provided because there are a lot of synergies I think as
Yep.
well that I try to bring when I'm having conversations because the exaggerated movements I call them the jazz hands, right? I am very emotive when I'm talking because that one in my mind, in my opinion, shows that I care about what I'm talking about, and it shows that it's also a pattern interrupt. Because if I just sat here straight looking dead at the camera, which is obviously a good thing as well, that's good and that's fantastic. But again, if I don't move within the frame, if I don't cause your eyes to look left and right, lower third or whatever the case may be, that's why a lot of the scenes and the overlays that I create on shows have a different look and feel. And so I agree with you on a lot of those types of listen, the man is pattern
Pattern
interrupting
interrupt.
right there. He's throwing up, and he probably made that because awesome wood things, ladies and gentlemen. He's very handy with the hands. Wears a white collar, but he's a
Guilty.
blue collar guy too. Squirrel moment there. Um, Mr. Billy Thorpe, and listen, we got before I continue, let me just say this right here because I got everybody else. We got Billy Thorpe right there. We have Matt Haas. We have two of the highly acclaimed counselors for the Ecamm Creator Camp. Uh, you are the what are you? You the planner,
Correct.
and Billy is the shower. I don't know.
Billy's presenter.
Okay, I don't. I try to get it right, but congratulations to you two
Yeah.
on that acknowledgement. I want to give you those flowers. It's a big deal. We're out here in these streets and we're doing some things. So congratulations to you and Billy for being selected
Thank
as
you. Looking
counselors
forward
for.
to it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So
Ecamm Creator Camp. Just a
you
few tickets left,
oh
folks.
my,
Get
listen, now
on it.
you got an affiliate code or something? My, this man over here
No,
selling them.
no.
You need one. You need one. Let's get into this. So showing up. See, I bring
Okay.
it back to where we're supposed to be. Showing up on camera. We talked about emoting. We talked about making sure that we have kind of those pattern interrupts and things like that. Matt, your show runs every morning at ridiculously early in the morning, and I applaud you for that because you've probably been doing it every single day for the past 8 years. That in and of itself is an accomplishment. But how do you do that? How do you get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. every single
Oh,
morning and show that Matt Haas and show that energy? What are some tweaks that you can give to other folks who are on this content creation journey as well, if you don't mind?
okay. If it fits into my schedule, because I do have a full-time job and it's plenty of time to do some fun things before my full-time job. Um, I like getting up early. I'm more productive in the morning. Some people are opposite. I'm not. I burn out at night. That works for me. The show is just talking about what I've done the day before, so that's not hard to wrangle up. I slap a few bullet points down that I'm going to talk about because dead air is something I don't want. And just if I don't know what to say, I just look at the next bullet point, boom, next topic, and we just roll with it. I'm a big believer in bullet points of what you want to say. Um, I'm not a big believer in reading off of prompters because that sounds easy. Oh, it's
Mm,
much easier just to read word for word.
yeah.
It's not. It's possible. You got to have talent. You have to write in a way that you speak naturally. That is a hard thing to master. If anyone wants to read off a prompter, more power to them. I'm not going to stop them, but it's much harder in my opinion. So I'm big fan of bullet points, and I turn the camera on and I go and I riff off of what the chat's given me, and I present my topics. I chapter mark them along the way. It works. It works. And I started the 17th of August 2021, 5 days a week, and I'm almost at show 1,000. 1,000 will be Friday, the 25th of this month, July, at 8:15 a.m. Eastern, giving away free prizes. 12
Free
free
prizes. Look at
prizes.
it right there. Awesome, fun things.
Two
Ladies and
mugs,
gentlemen,
2 mugs from Mr. Hicks. We got tek'na.le.gist
there you
mugs.
go. I
Come
gave
on.
out some mugs actually yesterday. I had some people come over here and look at my AC, and we got to chatting up. I think I got a discount on my service. Okay. Anyway, um,
That's how I get ready. A big fan of bullet points. Let's go.
so on the teleprompter thing, let me ask this. Let me just interject. So, are you using? Let's talk products for a minute. Are you using the Elgato teleprompter, or are you using
No, but
one
I
of the
have
others?
I have a teleprompter, but I use it to look at the camera, and that's one of the
There you go.
tips, is
That's where I
for
wanted
the
to go.
love of all that's holy, look into the lens.
Yes.
Right down the barrel of the lens of the camera. A lot of people do their shows like this, and you're talking to their ear, you're looking at their ear while they present. Not a good look. Down the lens itself. That's because that helps you connect
Yeah.
with someone. And really, when you're talking camera presence, you you want to be able to make it seem like you're having a conversation with one person, and you look people in the eye when you're talking to them. That is what this is all about. And we can't just have a show saying have your performance be like you're talking to one person. You need examples of how to do that. And baby, I've got those examples. I put them in the show notes. There's a lot of gold here. And
Okay.
this is stuff that's directly applicable to
Yeah.
everyone. And it's for free. You can do this all for free. You don't have to
Yeah.
invest any money. I'm excited about this content. This
I love
content's
that.
gold.
I love that and appreciate that. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad you, and Greg, I'm gonna let you type in. But I'm glad you spoke specifically about the teleprompter and looking dead in the lens as opposed to looking off center or diagonal, whatever. Especially for your A cam, for your primary cam. I've got two
Yeah.
other cameras going right now, and they're alternate views. I'll use them for micro content and have just some of that for cinematic effect. But I'm looking dead in.
Pattern interrupt.
I'm actually looking dead in my face right now. I'm not even looking at Greg. He's over there eating or something. I'm not looking at him.
But that's for
But
the host to worry about. The people
yeah,
see you looking at them. That's what's important.
I'm looking at somebody.
The audience.
I'm looking at Janae because it's good to see him in the comments there as well. Listen, we're global. We got Enda Trading coming in from across the water there from Vietnam.
Ireland.
We got Dr. Stone here in the building trying to sneak snacks into the studio. Man, this is what's up. Greg, what about you?
People from Queens, New York are here. Come
Shouts
on.
out to Queen. Shouts out to what about you,
Oh
man?
man, I'm
Because you
from
do a few
Queens.
shows, and I know you got your co-host that you do your Tech Tuesdays with, and but you also run your Tech Jedi. Is that it? Kind of that's almost like a master class or kind of webinar kind of series. Is that it? Did I mess up the name? No, brother. It is the
So
Tech Jedi.
so so let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
A client, one of my clients named me Tech Jedi, and I
Okay.
just ran with it because I like Star Wars, and it was pretty dope. So, and that's the client right there, Jay Lee, the seven
Okay.
figure
So
sales
he gets
closer.
front page
Uh,
billing for calling you the actual Tech Jedi. Okay. Make sure I didn't mess it up or anything.
yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. But let me jump on the teleprompter just for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
I agree for myself, it is more cumbersome and trying to, stumble over sentences or stuff. It's just not for me. However, there are other people out there who really rely on teleprompters and work. And I will tell you the one resource that I'll share with you guys that I thought could work for me, it's teleprompter-online.com, and it's an online teleprompter. And the reason why I like it is because it has a toggle button where it can hear what you're saying. And if you go off script, it'll stop scrolling. And when you pick back up the script, it'll start scrolling again. So it allows you to, talk off the cuff when you need to, and then get back on script when you need to. So that was one that I thought was really, really good. I heard some others do it, but I'm not sure which ones, but I do know that that one does. So for those, people who think that maybe, going off the cuff ain't for them because it's not for everyone, then I suggest having one that will actually stop and allow you to go, to riff a little bit.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get using it and being able to jump off script and then come back on script, because nothing can throw someone off if they're using a teleprompter, then something happening and you can't stay on script. And as we all know, that will happen from time to time.
We expect it to happen. That's actually one of the comments, or one of the bullet points that we talk. I actually hope that technology fails. I do, because that actually will make me stronger in terms of what to plan for in the future. I got a lot of contingencies already in place, just hanging out with a lot of you cool kids that are here on the screen and in the comments, and just being very anal in terms of production, direction, presence, things of that nature. So I've got backups to the backup to another backup. Should the internet blow up, God forbid, I've got other connections going. I'm sure each of you have multiple stream decks as well. So being able to do some automation with looks and feel. So those kinds of things are they're no longer wants. I think they're getting to the point where they're needs as we start elevating in this content creation journey. Right. As we start serving communities, as we start looking for revenue, as we have these conversations, we really do. The content has to be the content. Well, we got to bring value to everybody we're talking about. But man, if you don't look right, if you still came in at 360p like you were half up, see, again, I'm putting your business out there. But if you came in at 360p, and that would not work really well. Yeah, your audio could have been dope,
No,
but if you came in looking like old Betamax,
not good.
old scratched,
Got a 1,000 megabits up over here,
Beta.
folks.
I don't believe
Straight
it. I'm gonna need
Ethernet,
to see this. I'm gonna need
doing
to see
everything I
a
can.
screen test or something like that. Okay.
Up,
Um,
got it right here.
Gretchen is in the building. Oh my goodness. Let me sit up straight and act like I know what I'm talking about. Gretchen, we
Hey,
appreciate you, sis, for being in here. Uh,
gangsta
talk virtual.
grandma.
I love it. So where were we at? Because again, I want to I want to
Yeah.
slowly go
So
over a lot of those topics, but I want to be cognizant of everyone that's
okay.
coming in the comments as well. But there's I'm just going to be here interjecting because that's just what I do. Matt, you go because you provided the list.
Okay. So coming off of the teleprompter stuff, no matter what you do, and this is a gold item right here. Watch your stuff back. You yourself have the most critical eye on your performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything you publish, you should watch yourself. A lot of these people go live and they turn it off and they don't look at it again. What are you doing? What are you doing? Watch yourself back and you'll say, I didn't like the way I said that. Ooh, I could have done that a little different. And it'll just sit in your brain. And then the next time that situation comes up, it'll be a little bit better. You've got to watch yourself back. I know that is hard to do, but it is. Now, to add on to that, okay, take the closed captioning of your performance, and YouTube will do this automatically. It'll just close caption it for you, or you can drop your video onto a free closed caption service. I use Whisper. It's an app. It's free. And then, dare I say, now just do this 10 times in a row. Okay, you don't have to do this all the time. Read back what you said as words. Read the words off the page or the screen. That will highlight the things you should stop doing because it'll be there in black and white exactly what you said, how you said it. And by reading that back, you'll change the way that you present and you will improve. I guarantee if you do 10 live streams where it's just you solo talking or whatever, 10 videos, and then you read that closed captioning back to yourself, maybe do it the next day. That would be even better, kind of like a
Mm.
fresh eyes
Hmm.
on it. That will be a huge improvement. And I know you're probably like, Matt, that's actual work. I don't want to do work. But just do it 10 times. 10 times. I guarantee you will be noticeably better on camera. Those two tips right there.
Yeah.
Watch yourself back and then read your closed captioning back at least 10 times in a row with fresh eyes. I guarantee your on-screen presence will be phenomenally improved
Yeah. I put my
or
stuff
your money back.
through. I put my stuff through Descript, and it gives me the
Uh-huh.
transcript.
Yeah, it's good.
And when I started doing that and reading, obviously I watch it as well. But when I started actually looking at what I was saying, that process has helped me get rid of filler words. Has helped me
Well,
get rid
that's
of the
another tip.
ums and the ahs. I don't mind the awkward pauses because I love the awkward pauses because I either make other people get nervous
It's
or
actually
in the
good.
audience or the co-host. But so I love those pieces. But the filler words, the kind of those pieces, right? I love watching that and iterating and getting better each time. So that's a dope thing right there. What you got, Greg?
Can
What
can
you
I
got?
can I put a disclaimer
Oh, he's not
on
done.
the
Come
filler
on, man. Look,
words?
he hot today, boy. He hot today.
Not today.
I'm a listen. I'm a big fan of weeding out filler words, but here's the disclaimer.
Yeah,
It's not easy and it is not quick. This is a
truth.
time on task,
Yeah,
multiple month process. You
yeah.
can't beat yourself up over it. This is getting like not even 1% better each time. There's slow incremental things. And then you will exclude stuff like ums and ahs and you'll replace them with real English words
Oh,
that are still filler words.
imagine that.
Like starting a sentence with, so, did you notice this case on my phone? You don't need to start with so. Like that's a filler word. Like so it's a constant struggle, but I would recommend just trying to weed that out and be patient. It's slow, it's painful, but if you want to get better, it's the long game, time on task. That's my disclaimer for
Hey,
filler
hey,
words.
Gretchen, he's talking to all of us. He's not just
So
talking at
I'm
you.
going to
He's talking to all of us.
so I'm going to just go to complete opposite.
Mm,
Like I'll give you guys some. I'll give you my story. Like, so I knew I wanted to go live, but I knew I had a challenge starting the show. I was real good if people asked me questions. Once somebody asked me some questions, I'm good. And so what I did was the reason I started with a co-host. I got somebody who would start the show for me when I first started, and then we'd get into it. And he'd start asking me questions, and I'd pretty much take it from there and go back and forth. But I knew myself. So when it comes to live streaming, you got to know yourself. And when it comes to these filler words, me personally, I said, you know what? I'm going to give content, and unless it's a really, really big problem, I'm really not going to stress about it. But I do believe that Matt is 100% right. Like if you watch yourself and you start noticing you don't like how many times you say then maybe it will trigger in your brain to stop. So I don't stress it too much because most people naturally say stuff like when they're processing what they're trying to say and they're thinking about just naturally thinking. So I think if you stress yourself out, you're going to say more because you're trying not to. But I believe if you watch yourself many times, and let's borrow from podcasts, right? They say if you do 30 podcasts, most people will quit before they do 30 podcasts. So it's like if you do 30 live streams, you'll have a good track record and you'll have enough to watch yourself for you to make your own adjustments. So I'd see I just did it there, right there. And so Matt, that's what I think.
Oh, good. Yeah. James said it quickly earlier, but putting silence in instead of a filler word or a filler sound, that, if done right, the audience will hang on
yeah.
during that silence. It's actually an attention grabber. Now, you can't abuse it. You can't go long silences, but if you just have a quick, short pause rather than saying, that can be magical. Can be. So
I
just
agree.
something to think about there.
No, that makes
I
sense. And
agree.
like Mr. Stone is
Oh,
saying,
baby.
we are our own worst critics. And we have to do
Yeah.
it though. I mean, watching our videos over and over and looking at them, analyzing them, going over them with the red teacher pen. We really have to do that in order for us to get better, or for us to only know how we look, how we sound, our depth and breadth, our ambience, all of those things, right? You have to do that and to know what's behind you because again, we're looking here. I don't know if there could be something behind me that shouldn't be on screen, whatever. We have to look at the post production to make sure that we set up our environment
Yeah.
correctly as well. But that piece right there, but you made a statement there about putting in the time. See how I did that pause right there? See, I did it was on purpose. You made a statement there about putting in the work. And I thought I'm gonna put Christone out here on Front Street. I had a conversation with him, and I said, literally, when I come back from my trip, I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I'm gonna be heck when I come back because I'm gonna be calling people out. Folks that have been in this game, in this ecosystem, in this world of content delivery, content creation, and they haven't taken those next steps to get better. Not just on the infrastructure, not just on the lights, the cameras, the roadcasters, and all that stuff, but on delivering the content on a timely manner, knowing that they've got a message to say. If they haven't elevated themselves since when was COVID? 2020? Because a lot of us really kind of met during that period of time. It's been 4, 5, 6 years. And if you haven't taken those initial steps to improve your messaging, I'm going to start calling people out. I'm not going to get to the Sean Boyd level. Right? I'm not going to get to the drill sergeant level. I'm not going to get to Doc's level, but I'm going to. Okay. Squirrel moment there.
Cool.
Help me out, Matt.
Okay. All right. Got another tip for you. And this,
Fire 'em off,
this
brother.
I think
Fire 'em
is
off.
this is the other internet gold tip. Like this is a top tier tip here. You're getting your money's worth with this next one. When you're solo on camera, a good way to make your delivery seem like it's a conversation. You won't fool anyone, but a way to make it seem more conversational, and that will make people hang on, more conversational. A good way to do that is to ask a question and then answer it. I love doing the ask a question and then answer it. It's just, it makes the viewer feel more invested. It's like, what's the best color iPhone case? Blue is the best color iPhone case. It's just a technique, you know?
I don't know where it went.
That's better to say blue is the best iPhone case.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But if you ask a question and then answer it, it's just better. I don't know. It's just better. I do it all the time. At least several times a show, I ask questions and then answer my own question. I think it's brilliant and it will hold the attention. It will make you seem more conversational. And it's, I think, brilliant.
So you talk to yourself in third
James
person.
puts his hex code
I
of
know
his
my
color.
hex codes, right? I'm that guy. Again, I know my hex code. So you talk about you type that hex code in. That's this blue right here. It's not Tom Buck blue. It's my blue. He has a different shade of blue.
I got my hex code too. My hex code is very similar to this color.
Okay, I love. Listen, before we keep going, I'm gonna do a little pause here and pivot. I see someone in the comments I gotta acknowledge, Mr. Gilliland. I appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. It's good to see you on the stream here. So I'm glad you are joining us. So you gotta acknowledge, folks. Again, pattern interrupts. Acknowledging the people that are in the comments. That's something that comes with practice. Those iterations, those at bats. What in the world?
Pattern interrupt.
Yeah, that came out of right field there, buddy. Show is off the rails now, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm glad we're not on LinkedIn because because this could be a kind of off brand. We're on Substack though. We're on Substack. We're on the Facebook from my mom. I don't know if she's watching, but we're on the Facebook. We're everywhere else that needs to be.
Baby, come on.
Okay, Greg, what about you, man? What about you? Because Matt is on fire. I got to kind of tamp him down, right? I kind of got to put him in the Traeger and let him smoke for a little bit because otherwise analogy right there. What about you, man? Because I'm interested in your process because put you on Front Street here. We were talking about emails. We were talking about communication. We were talking about even just some of the things prepping for the show. And you were talking about you use a lot of AI tools, right? And you're trying to figure those out. Are any of those tools that you have within your toolkit helping you when it comes to the actual delivery, when it comes to the camera presence, when it comes to being online, when you do those interviews like you did yesterday? I'll pull it up on screen so folks can see. But are you using any specific tools, hardware, software, or services? Because Matt and I are really going to talk more about process, procedures, SOP kind of things, right? In terms of how we do and what we do. I'm just wondering if you use anything technology wise.
So if I'm interviewing someone of influence who has content online, I will use ChatGPT and ask it to come up with interview questions to see if it can come up with some questions that I wouldn't think of. And so when I enter it, I'll be like, this person is such and such, and I'll list their YouTube and their website and their LinkedIn and maybe some other links that have their content, and then I'll describe them and what the show is about, and I'll ask ChatGPT to come up with any interview questions. I'll tell it, we're having a podcast, I'm interviewing this person, what questions do you think, what interesting questions you think I should ask, and it gives me a good job of giving me some that I wouldn't think to ask. And so that's one way I use AI to help me
Got that.
with
So
my process.
did you use that yesterday when you had Mr. Wakefield on there? Because goodness gracious, yeah, Mr.
I
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know Roger. That's a big whale in the. But you go back with
yes, I
him, I
did.
guess, right? You know Roger quite well, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, we got to hang out several times, and we just had a good time talking, things outside of business like football and how he he's a quarterback and I'm a
Yeah.
running back, so we started talking football and had a great time. But yeah, Roger is awesome, and I love hanging out with him when I get the chance.
Okay. So bringing it back into the conversation, you're using LLMs, you're using AI really to help you be prepared for the conversation, right? Coming up with the script, coming up with some talking points, doing some research, doing the old Encyclopedia Britannica, and finding out some of the other things about your guest, so you can be prepared when you turn the lights on and press record, kind of thing.
Yes, and
Okay.
here's the thing: it's energy, man. Like when I come, I don't know about you, but when I do a show, I bring energy. Like
No, I'm half
sometimes I
sleep over
follow the
here, brother.
questions,
What
sometimes
do
I
you think?
don't.
I'm half
Sometimes I
sleep over
just
here?
use wherever it goes. But I just tap in. But after the show, I sometimes need to chill and take a nap or something because I just give it a lot of energy. And so when it comes to sometimes those filler words, if you a lot of times when you speak, if you're speaking with energy and you're excited about what you're talking about, you don't have as many filler words because your energy is just on a whole nother level. So one of the tips that I have is to, again, turn your energy way up so that you come across and
Yeah.
you don't have those, you're not thinking about what you're trying to say, that energy is just going to come through the camera.
I'm making fun of that, and we'll move on to the next one. But I'll just say this, and here's another anecdote. You guys know I do another show called Team No Sleep about the social impact of sports, and we cover some. We don't talk about the scores. We don't talk about who's releasing a new shoe, or we don't talk about none of that stuff. We talk about NIL, name, image, and likeness for a 16, 17-year-old coming from nowhere. Now they got $50,000 in their pocket because they were bagging groceries at the local supermarket. And how does that work? We talk about, unfortunately, the domestic violence. We talk about a lot of things that are the underbelly. They're not on the ESPNs and the Fox Sports of the world. Many a time, to your case in point, Greg, after a show, I'm on the fetal position on the floor here in my studio with a not a bottle, but with a glass of scotch. I'm not going to put myself out here like that, but I'll have to have a little something. But again, because getting deep and immersed in the conversation, bringing the energy, having the conversation, talking about controversial topics a lot of times too, and going back and forth with the folks in the audience. And we're talking about, like transgender athletes. And that's a hot button topic. We were talking about that before the Olympics last year, and now everyone's talking about it. So having conversations like that. So I'm with you, man, that after some of these shows, and I can't do more than 3 a day anymore. Listen, I'm a seasoned man. We 56 years old over here, but I can only do a handful now. Okay, energy equals flow. I might put that on a shirt. Okay, I see you, Erica. Erica, I give you 2% of the profits on that. Energy equals flow.
You got
Matt
to amp
Haas.
it up. He says, "Don't number one rule: don't be boring." I agree.
Don't be boring.
Don't be boring.
We gonna show up.
You got to be passionate.
We gonna show
You got to
up.
be
Yeah.
passionate about what you're
Boom.
talking about.
Everybody, let me see. Anybody on
People think I
Substack?
turn the passion on, James.
Well,
They
no,
think this is an act. I'm like,
no,
no,
brother.
this is me all the time.
You wake up like that. Beyonce ain't got nothing on you. You wake up like that.
This is what you get for good or for ill. Like, this is it, 24/7. Come on,
Bless
strap
your
yourself
wife.
in.
Bless your wife. Bless your family. Because I bet, as soon as daddy wake up, here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
We're on opposite sleep schedules. She's third shift, I'm first. It works.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm
Oh,
gonna leave that alone. Okay, let's go down the list. Let's keep going. And folks, again, as you are interjecting, I'm seeing the comments. Put something in as well, folks that are on YouTube. Listen, we got the engagement going as well. So who's in first place right now? I don't know who's in first. Chris Stone's in third. He's not giving enough valuable commentary.
virtual talk is 2.
Virtual Talk is two. Yeah, who's
Stuart
number one?
Video is number 1.
What?
Last
Stewart
last
Video. See
button I
that?
see,
Love that. Y'all keep engaging
Queens, New
on
York,
YouTube.
representing.
Queens.
Come on.
Queens. Okay.
He's the
Showing
man.
up. Yeah, we
Alright.
calling you out, brother. We calling
Okay.
you out. Give us something else. Give us something else. Because I'm saving the
Alright,
couple that I've
next
got
up.
for later. Because again, I want to hit you out of right field with them. You're not ready for 'em.
Okay, well, here's the last main one. I have a couple nitpicky things we could probably skip because they're more like personal preference stuff. But the last main point is this is for fast talkers. So if you're not a
Hmm.
fast talker, maybe this doesn't apply. But if you find yourself talking, and then boom, we run out of stuff to say, and then you think about something and you just keep going. If that's you, the tip is just slow your pace down
Hmm.
even a little bit, and will that leads to huge performance. I tell people just try and throttle it down 5%. It will have a substantial improvement on the overall delivery because everyone's mind, and when I don't use the word everyone lightly, like every person on earth can think 10 times faster than they can talk. Your brain just goes a million miles an hour. Um, if you attempt to have your speech match the speed of your brain, you're going to talk, 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 and then boom, you're going to run out of stuff to say. Just slow it down. Just slow it down a little bit. The payoff will be huge. I guarantee. It doesn't seem like it would be. Matt, you're telling me to slow down 5%? I should get a 5% improvement. No, you slow down 5%, you get like a 30% improvement in your overall. It's not proportional. It's a big improvement. This is only for people who are fast talkers. And I am a very fast talker. I may even seem like I'm talking fast now. This is way slower than I can normally talk. Believe me, I've forced myself to slow the speech down because it just smooths everything out and keeps people watching longer.
How do you do that?
That's a good tip if it
But
applies to you. Yeah.
yeah, but so how do you do that? Let me call you to the carpet on this one because how do you consciously do that? Because I'll start talking fast when I get excited and really want to make sure that I get that breath out. I've learned to over time, right? Pause, take the breath, change kind of my
Yeah.
dynamic. But uh, explain how to have someone do that who is just hearing it for themselves that, yeah, you know what, I do talk fast and this sounds like it's a good tip and I've seen it work for other folks. How do you go through those actions consciously of slowing yourself down?
Well, it's not so much a breathing type thing because you'll breathe when you need to breathe. It's
Yeah.
I say 5% deliberately because that's not hard for someone to implement. It means just talk a wee little bit slower and your mind can kind of handle that. And your mind just sort of does it, James. There's no other technique or prescription or rule or bullet. It just if you just try and talk just a little bit slower, it will work. I don't know how it will work. It will work. That's as best of an answer as I can give you.
That's actually pretty good
And the whole
because,
point is it'll smooth out. It'll
yeah,
just smooth out your delivery.
I say that's actually pretty good because one of the statements that I say a lot of times, one of the idioms that I use is get out of your own way. So, but it's almost like there's no class necessarily that you need to go to. There's no book that you necessarily need to read. There's no supplement that you need to take. It's just practice, 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 but get out of your own way. You know you're doing something. Train your mind consciously to either slow down, enunciate, which I know is one of your points as well. Did I just jump? Did I put the cart before the horse just now? And but again,
Well,
just get out
that's
of
an
your own way.
optional
Do the
point, yeah.
thing. Do the thing, right? You know what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Everything doesn't have to be rocket science. Everything doesn't have to be excruciating hard to learn.
yeah.
Get out of your own way.
Yeah, I think I
Don't get
think
me
when
wrong.
you're listening to yourself. You can, if
Mm,
you n- knowing is half the battle. So if you can catch yourself and you can hear yourself speaking, a little bit quickly, it's about hearing yourself. And then you can say, let me just take a breath. And sometimes you can exaggerate it out. So if you're going to train yourself to do it, you can recognize you're speaking quickly, take a breath and then say, I'm going to say this next few things a little bit slower, like a lot slower, so you can hear yourself saying it slower and then regulate. It's all about listening to yourself, consciously at the time that you're doing it. And again, these repetitions and watching yourself will help you to do that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And now that I have a lot of hours and thousands of shows under
many
my
hours.
belt, I'm taking this to an advanced level. I probably shouldn't even say this, but this is something I'm working on now. And this is after years and years and years of being on camera. I am trying to have my speech pattern be fast on the nonsense stuff and slow on the main points. Not real fast, but just faster. Just when I'm talking about something, I've noticed it's more engaging and it comes across better if you can. Now, again, this is advanced stuff here, but if you have something to say and there's a whole sentence or two and there's two main points, you can go a little faster during the fluff and then hit the one point a little slower, speed it up, speed it up, speed up, and then hit the next point a little slower, speed up, speed up, speed. It's something I've been working on, and it's not where it needs to be yet, but I'm always striving to be better. And I haven't quite put that into nice bullet point, talking point, teaching points yet, but it is something I'm working through now.
And
And
get those ready for
I think
Creative
if you
Camp.
can pull, yeah, maybe,
Put those in your class.
come on,
Now,
let's
let me
go.
ask you this before we move on to the next one. And Greg, I don't know if you wanted to interject, but does it matter what type of content or information you're sharing for that process, right? Because your content is primarily long form. I don't think I've ever seen you really, and correct me if I'm wrong, do micro content. I don't see you doing shorts.
Who?
You,
I
Matt.
I do shorts, yeah.
What? How come I'm not checking out the shorts?
Yeah,
I
I
need
do.
to help you out with the watch hours. And all right, well, again, I'm not
Yeah.
right about everything. I'm only
I
right
try and
about
do
some
I try
things.
and do one short per show, but I usually do
Well,
about 3 a week.
okay.
5 I stream Monday through Friday, but, and I film them separately. I was cutting down pieces
Yeah,
of the
okay.
show. I'm trying a new technique where I just summarize a point I talk about on the show.
You just trying to break the
Yeah.
internet, dude. You're just doing all kind of new things. Next thing you know, you'll be streaming vertical. Okay.
When you're on YouTube, you need all 3. You need live, you need edited, and you need shorts. It's just my thing,
All right.
my
Mm.
So back to my
insider
question
baseball.
then. Does it matter the type of content you think for that
No,
process? Okay. That was a softball question,
absolutely
actually.
not. I the reason I'm trying to do talk fast and then slow and to get your point across. There's someone who does it really well. There's a radio guy out there that does dating call-in show. Like it's funny. Jubal Fresh. I don't know if you know who he is, but he is brilliant. He'll go real fast, and then slow, slow, slow,
Yeah.
real fast, real slow, slow. And it's a really good, it's just a professional radio guy in the industry. And I'm like, that's 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 what it's all about, folks. You see something you like and you try and pick up on the techniques and you use it. I've been doing that my whole career. Leo Laporte, I'm a big fan of Leo Laporte. Leo
Mm.
Laporte.
Hmm.
I picked up some of his mannerisms and his techniques and other shows and stuff like that. And as far as speaking fast, if you can speak fast and you can enunciate and not have any dropped silences, go for it. There was one podcast that had 3 hosts. They were all fast talkers, and they never had any silence, and it was a joy to watch. And it was a tech show. They talked about consumer tech, and I was and then a couple of the hosts left, and they brought in new people with different energy. It just wrecked the whole thing. So it's I don't know. I do like fast talkers, but
You
you've
like
got
fast
to
talkers? Okay.
not have silences.
I can type fast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at typing, but I'll get out of breath if
I'm
I go
about
too
80.
fast.
It's the mistakes. When you factor in the mistakes for typing,
Yeah.
then my scores go down.
I'm around a good 72. I think I'm
Oh,
still around there.
and
Greg, what
about
about you, man?
80
I
with
like
mistakes.
feedback. I like feedback,
Mm,
so I like live shows where I can,
yeah,
get the feedback. Hey, do I need to slow down? Am I going too fast? Is this good? I like feedback. So feedback lets you know.
I
I
like
love
that too. I mean,
lives.
that
I
makes sense.
love lives.
Yeah. I mean,
Lives are the
live
best.
streams are golden because we get to interject, we get to respond to our community, we get to have comments like Gretchen says, take a breath at the end of each sentence. Every period is like a stop sign. Commas are like dragging your toes while riding a bike to go around a corner just to pause. Wait a minute. Oh, see, if we weren't live, we wouldn't have that. Let me say that one more again.
Yeah,
That's
say it
not
again.
proper English, I know, but listen, take a breath at the end of every sentence. Every period is like a stop sign. Commas are like dragging your toes while riding a bike to go around a corner just to pause. Read out loud to practice. Ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
imagine with Gretchen. My
that's
God. The show's over.
that's
No,
that's
don't see.
that's an
We got nothing
interesting
else to
take
say,
on
brother.
commas. Commas save lives. Did you ever see that shirt? It says, "Let's eat, comma, grandma," and then it says, "Let's eat grandma with no comma." You're like, comma saves lives.
That may be another. I'm building up the. Someone got the sound effects over there too. I may build up the merch shop with that one right there. I may find a way to put that one in the merch shop. But I wanted to read that out personally. So, what's better,
Gretchen's
faster
brilliant. We
cutting
love
out
you,
clips?
Gretchen.
Yes, yes. Eric is saying, what's
Don't ever
better,
change, Gretchen. You're the best.
faster cutting out clips from your long form or creating your shorts by shooting a summary? Interesting, because again, you do it
I've done
backwards. Nah, not backwards. You do it different. I don't want to
I was doing
poo
I
on
was
your.
doing the clips, and now I'm doing the summary. It's just something I'm trying. Yeah. A summary of one topic. I'll say, today on Good
Okay.
Morning Haas, we talked about blah, 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 blah. Link is in the doodly doo. In and out. Boom and boom. I try to get 100% watch time by making my shorts 15 seconds. So,
You got a.
you know,
Know those tips and tricks. We may do like a premium session and maybe charge folks for that one. How to get.
I still
We
have
don't
all
want
that
to tweak
knowledge.
the.
I used to have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel about all things YouTube. I still got the merch, although the channel's dead. Anyway, still know all the techniques, all the
It's all
tips.
there. It's
Did
all
you say
there.
you had some fun things that you wanted to riff off of, James?
Well,
Some
it's
fun.
different, right? Because again, you're talking about. So Greg's talking about technology tools, talking about using AI to come and prep and pre-prepared. You're leaning more into again some of the, like I call the SOPs, kind of the mindset, some of the more cognitive types of things. I'm not as fancy as you guys. I just was going to talk about getting everything together, preparing for sessions, preparing for contingencies, kind of like I talked about. Should the internet blow up or something, I've got all of those in place. I've got different camera angles and things of that. And listen, don't make fun of me, but realize that folks that are on TV take advantage of this too. Your boy got to put on the makeup, the anti shine. And for us melanated folks, we need the anti-shine stick. Shouts out to Harry's right here, which is my new brand. I was using. I'm a 56-year-old man over here
Harry's like
marketing.
Harry's razors?
I'm over here marketing makeup, but yes.
No.
So again, making
Camera
sure
ready.
that the production and the appearance on screen doesn't look like I know it right now. It's 100 degrees outside. I got the AC blaring, but again, it doesn't look like I'm sweating profusely and overextending myself. I want to make sure that I show up aesthetically as well. And I know I'm not nothing great to look at, but just something as little as this, right? Taking care of
Good.
the television presence, the screen presence, so that I look like I'm comfortable. My brain could be going in multiple different directions at one particular time, but just doing those things. So every show before I go on, I'll do my color science mattifying powder. Men use this SPF as well. So what do you call it? Sun protection. Then I'll go make my cup of coffee. This week we're representing Marshall Fox. Shouts out to Fox there. Relax, focus, create. So we representing him with the cup. I'll do my breathing techniques. I know Matt says he doesn't like to breathe, but I breathe. And then come and turn the lights on. Let's go. So there, again, we all have our different things. I put makeup on to make sure that I look
It's
somewhat
all good.
presentable when I'm on screen. But it's to that degree. It's to that nth degree of what we think about. A run of show and a preparing is not just the uh, topics. It's not just the call to actions. It's not just the interludes. It's not just the changing of the scenes and the overlays. It's not just that stuff. It's not just making sure that we're looking in the camera and talking to the audience. It's also making sure that you're ready in and of it yourself. Making sure that when you show up for a 15-minute, 60-minute, 2-hour long stream or whatever the case may be, that you look like you got the stamina to do the thing. So that's what I do there.
The
Again, I know it was
SOPs,
out of
you're
right
talking
field.
standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
That's actually a stress reducer, is to capture all of this stuff before you go live.
Yeah.
And if, it's, getting camera ready, that's part of your SOP. Making sure the buttons are pushed correctly on your
Yeah.
Rodecaster Pro, part of your SOP.
Done
Making
that
sure
before.
things are the way they need to be on your software, it's stress reducer. Because the
Been
last
through
thing
there.
you want is to be stressed out when you're on camera. You want to be less stressed on camera.
Especially when you've
It's,
got 4 stream decks. We got a pedal, so I got my feet moving. I got 3 up here doing overlays and comments, right? Trying to make sure no one's getting crazy in
pedal's
the
next for me.
right. So doing all those things and still trying to be present during the conversation. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Listen, folks, not everyone
There's
has
there's
We
there's definitely a
teams
lot.
behind the scene doing all the stuff. It's us doing it. So that's
Yeah,
why this
if you're trying to be
conversation matters.
you're trying to be the talent and the producer,
Yeah.
and the writer all at the same time. People don't know, it takes a lot, because when you're live and you're presenting and talking and sharing at the same time, you have to be the producer and hit buttons to make things change, and it's a lot to take in. um, However, it's doable now with the technology that we have, and with a little practice, it doesn't have to be as stressful. The first few times you do it, you might, and you want to up the production. I remember the first time I was starting to use Ecamm, like to really use it. It was like, whoa, there's a lot of things going on. The cool thing is you set it up that works well for you, and you adjust and grow as you grow. You don't try to do too much at one time. So take your time if you're entering this, and you're starting this, and always try to up the production. Always try to make it better than the last time. Always try to improve your quality of what you're doing. The worst thing you can do is try to have a show at a level you're not ready for, because you're trying to do too much. You have to start where you need to start and grow where you need to grow, and be yourself. Don't be someone else.
Well, I try to be like
Piggybacking
Matt
off that.
today. I'll just say this, Matt. I confided in Chris today. I changed out all my HDMI cables, put in fiber HDMI cables today because we were having this camera presence conversation. I want to make sure that I was top notch for for Matt Haas
Nice.
and you too, Greg. And listen,
Oh
we got I
boy.
got I got
Come
Ken
on
in the
now.
building too, so I gotta. So yeah, I was rerouting all of my camera HDMI cables and I installed fiber HDMI. It's dope.
I
Nick
love
will
it.
be in my Amazon
Go,
shop
baby,
here
go.
before you know it.
Hey, speaking off of this topic though, and this is sort of inside baseball for a host struggle is when you're hosting the show, pushing all the buttons, it's a little bit harder to do things that are super easy if you're just talking to someone one-on-one in person, like doing a little bit of math or trying to calculate how many days in the future something is. It's because when you're hosting, you're worried about everything that's going on in the present. You're worrying about what you're going to say next, and then someone asks you a question, and you just gotta like. It's just a little bit harder to think. And one of the things someone as an audience member could do that would help is if they comment on something, know that the host might read it a minute or two later and they
Mm,
might not know what your comment is about. So a lot of times as an audience member, I'll comment on something and then put in brackets the context or in parens the context. And that really helps a host out because it's a lot different when you're pushing all the buttons to keep track of comments and what someone could be commenting on. Cause like we riff on 5 or 6 topics in 2 minutes. Like
yeah.
which like what sentence goes with what?
What in
So
the world is
these
he
are
talking
just some
about?
struggles that we go through as hosts, and some of it comes through on camera, and some of it doesn't. But I've watched a few times back where I'm like, boy, that's really embarrassing that like I got that math wrong or something. Like I would have been able to do it like that if we were just talking in person. But like when I'm hosting, it's just different. It's just a little bit different. I can't explain it,
Sounds like we just had
and I don't have a solution.
an intervention there. We had a little counseling session for you. A little
Yeah.
okay. Well, we're all there. We're all
No,
there.
it's
I'll tell you
it's
I'll tell you
we should.
when you run a show with a co-host,
Yeah.
it makes that a lot easier because I remember times that
Yeah.
I was trying to say something and like a question or calculate something and I got it wrong. And my co-host was able to correct me. He was like, "No, didn't you mean this?" And I was like, "Yes, that's exactly what I meant." Or something technically goes wrong, I can be like, let me fix it, and he knows to just riff for a minute while I figure out what's going on behind the scenes. And so,
That's a huge
it's not
plus.
for everyone, but having a co-host makes some of that a little bit easier.
Good stuff.
It
All
does.
right. Matt Haas, let's end on this one. What in the world is vocal fry?
Oh god. This is embarrassing. These are things that kinda drive me a little bit nuts. Vocal fry is when you talk like this. Vocal fry. It's just an inflection that's, in my opinion, a choice. Some people will argue, "That's the way I talk." No. I don't buy it.
Right.
If
First of all,
someone
hold on,
has
hold on.
vocal
You're
fry,
gonna be all over the internet in like 2 hours because that I'm chopping that
I
up
don't
and you yeah,
I
you about to
I
be
it
real
is public,
popular.
baby. My thoughts about this are 100% public. I'll
Yeah.
scream it to the world. I Vocal fry is a choice. It's not pleasing to the
Mm.
ear, and I just don't like it. So that's kind of my nitpicky stuff. Like enunciates like
Aren't there
another
some
nitpicky
radio
thing. You
hosts
should
that
be
do
able.
that?
No, all radio people don't do it because they're professionals. Um, but it's amateurs out there on video that will end sentences like this. Oh my God. Don't do vocal fry. Enunciate. And if you enunciate, you can't do vocal fry if you're enunciating. So, like, people should be able to understand what you're saying. Is another thing. I got lots of these little nitpicky like up notes. Do you ever have an up talker? Like at the end of every sentence, they talk with an up talk, and
Yeah, I don't
this
like
is
that
my
at
cell
all.
phone,
Yeah, I don't like that at
and
all.
this is a thing I made out of wood. It's a coffee scoop I made out of. I just like don't be an up talker because it makes it sound like everything's a question, and it's not good camera presence. So those are my like nitpicky thing. I've got plenty of other nitpicky things. I don't like very high pitched, loud dings um, at high volume because that hurts people who are starting to go deaf like me. That is physically painful. So if like one tip would be like if you have a lot of bells that go bing like that, just crank the volume down a little bit. Like you don't need to blow people's ears out with that. So a lot of high pitched stuff. I might stop watching if it's persistent. So
Wow.
little
There you
nitpicky.
go.
There's a little nitpicky things, but
So it's very
I
difficult.
have a whole bunch of neuroses, I should
Yeah.
say.
And I'll do this as we get ready to bring this plane in, but that works for what we do here: digital content creation, uh, YouTube, podcast, audio, and or video. But even in presentations, conversations in front of one to one or one to many. So hopefully, folks are seeing and getting value from the conversation that even if they're not content creators, as they engage and as they have conversations and as they interact with other folks out there in these streets, don't do the up talk. I hate that too. I want to choke somebody and you hit them in the throat every time someone does that, but I guess that wouldn't be a good thing. Don't do that. The vocal fry. I may do that every once in a. No, I don't do that because that sounds crazy. I don't do that. I like that. I
I
like
mean, it
that. No
might slip
vocal.
out like every
I'll
now
try
and
not
then,
to
but
because
some people
you
do it
sounded real bad when you did that. I
just
would.
as their normal speech.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that as part of your normal speech. No one likes it. It's not pleasing. I don't know. To me anyway. But to each his own.
Teach his own.
To each his own.
Greg, whatever you're gonna say, don't make Matt mad because he's on one right now. What you got, brother? What you got?
Oh, jeez.
I don't talk to people who have
You don't even talk to people.
the fry or I don't talk to people who do that. So it's like I'm having a hard time relating. My people don't. The people that I have on my show and the people that I typically run across, they don't do that. So I don't know.
I love it.
I'd buy that bumper sticker, Ken.
In a minute, or you could carve it out of something. Awesome wood things could actually carve that out of something, right? We're trying to get you. You're at
Put it on my
900.
CNC carving machine.
Dude,
I'm
you're at.
firing up the laser right after the show. It's gonna be a new merch item.
Hold on, folks. Listen, let's make this happen right now. Let's make this happen right now. So this guy right here, right, is bringing the pain, bringing the heat. This channel he's got awesome fun things. He's at 996.
I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Tonight,
I'm 4 away.
No, right now you're gonna get to it. Folks, go to this channel. I'm gonna put it in the comments right now. We want
Am I gonna
Matt
get the
to
James Hicks bump?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little something. We're gonna give you, I don't know what it is. We're gonna give you a little something right there. Ladies and gentlemen, go to that channel right now on YouTube and subscribe to that. Yeah. James Hicks bump. That won't be on a t-shirt. That don't sound right. Pause. Let's get Matt. Let's get awesome fun things to that 1,000 so he can be, because you've got 4,000 hours, right?
Almost. Yeah. It's weird because the shorts hours don't
can't do
count
everything.
anymore.
We can do, come on now. I can't do everything.
I know, but I'm 3 away from 1,000. 3 away.
3, see, there we go. Bringing some value here. We gonna get you to 1,000 tonight for sure. You gonna have to work on your 4,000 watch hours. We will get you monetized before
I'm almost there. I'm at
the end of summer.
3,800 watch hours.
Look at that.
Almost there.
Hey,
Come on.
and Ken Young, he's well connected. This guy right here, you need to Google this man. He just subscribed to your channel. That means you're doing something worthwhile.
Right.
Just saying.
Thank you for the
There's
subs.
only one away now.
We were going to end the show. We're not
it.
leaving. I got unlimited tape until you get to 1,000. I need that. Right there. I'll send you my address.
Did I send you these, James?
No, you didn't. I sent you all
Didn't?
kind of
Okay.
here from my store, but you haven't sent me.
I'm putting you on the list.
I thought I was the list.
On the list.
I need to be on that list.
You know what I'm saying? I need dope too.
I'll send you some out. I have to actually manufacture some more. But if you go to matthaas.com and you'll find the link to it.
No, I can't be sending folks to all these sites. Right now we're sending them.
I know.
To awesome fun things. Anybody got any questions while we hesitate and while we stutter and stretch this out a little bit? Unlimited tape. Be kind and my God. Be kind and rewind.
Blockbuster, baby.
Rewind.
Be kind and rewind. All right. Listen, man.
Can we go
I'm gonna
back
bring
to
it
the
in.
80s,
I'm gonna bring it in
please?
because I think we did what we needed to do. Let me see. Let me refresh. Oh, no, one away. Oh, jeez. Guess what?
James, thanks.
No, guess what?
Is
I'm
it?
not.
Is
I'm
it?
not. I'm not subscribed.
999. Oh no! I see 999.
No, dude, I'm not subscribed. Oops.
Ruh-roh.
But we're gonna change that. I
Yeah.
tell you what.
Let's
I am your
Tell
go.
you what,
1,000th subscriber. There
James
we
is my 1,000th subscriber. Here, I'm gonna
There
try
you
and
go,
share my
baby.
there
screen.
you go. We got you. Ladies and
It said
gentlemen,
There you
awesome
go.
fun
999
things is
right
at
here.
1,000.
1,000. I'm sharing. I don't know if I'm sharing on your show, but there I am. Show 1,000 or episode or
Look at
I
he
can't even.
lost
I don't know. What am I
all his
even
words now.
saying?
He can't even speak now.
I get 1,000 subscribers. I'm tongue tied. This whole
There it
thing is
is.
about speaking clearly.
We get the man
Thank you.
over the mark,
Thank you,
over the
James Hicks
mountaintop.
audience.
There we go. This is our audience. Let's correct
Woo!
that. This is us, man.
Congrats.
There's no I here. It's all
Congrats.
about team. Congratulations on that, man. That's dope.
Thank you.
That's what it's
Thank
about.
you.
That was done by
I
design.
love
No, it
it.
wasn't. What's up with you, tall boy? Appreciate you for being here as well, brother. Listen,
Tall
congratulations.
boy. Hi,
Yes,
tall boy.
we got you to where you need to be. Now you got to get them hours, and I know that's right around the corner as well. So,
Oh, they're
folks,
coming.
this is what we do.
Coming.
This is what the Technologist Forum is. Having these conversations. It wasn't, again, it's not an interview. It's a discussion. It's a dialogue. We got the community, we got the audience going. We're on multiple channels. This is something that is going to continue to grow, continue to evolve. We're throwing you these gems, these 101 level, 201 level gems. We're giving them to you. In a couple of weeks, tell you what, when I get back from Africa, I tell you what, I'm gonna bring Greg on, I'm gonna bring Matt on, and we're gonna go 301, we're gonna go 401. That's gonna be the premium content. So we will raise that bar, we will raise that conversation. And I'm telling you right now, to engage in the discussion, you'll either need to be a subscriber or a member, or we'll do some more pay per attendance types of things. Hopefully you're seeing the value in this. Hopefully you're seeing that you understand where we're going. We're trying to level up everyone. We want to bring everyone with us. So, and I always say as well, I got a lot of sayings. People pay attention to what they pay for. So, as we continue to evolve this conversation, as we continue to evolve this content, we want to bring you with you. We want you to all get better. We're trying to get better as well. And we wouldn't be nothing without the community. Greg and Matt, send us home. Tell us where folks can get in touch with you.
I'll go first. You can get me
MattHaas.com.
at
You'll find all my stuff.
askgregrussell.com.
I gotta do the traffic cop because see they just when you got all these producers on the screen, everyone. I think Erica even says it right. When you're a producer and you come on someone's show, you want to. Greg, you go.
Thank you, sir. You guys can find me at askgregrussell.com. 2 S's, 2 L's.
What? Oh, okay. What? I promise.
Try to make it easy for you
I
guys.
promise this is not that scotch just yet. This is only
askgregrussell.com.
coffee. Oh, Russell 2Ls.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Haas, Mr. 1000.
All right. MattHaas.com. MattHaas. And if you spell it with a SS incorrectly, you'll get a funny website because I bought the misspelling of my name and there's a funny little gag on there. So you can't get it wrong. MattHaas.com. I stream 8:15 a.m. in the morning, Monday through Friday on Awesome Fun Things, the newly 1,000 subscriber channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's what we do.
Appreciate it.
All right, you guys, listen.
Thumbs
if you
up for
found
James.
no, brother, this is what we do. If you found value in this conversation, let me know. If you did not find value in this conversation, still let me know so we can continue to evolve, iterate, and get better. We will see you next time, and y'all be good. I will talk to you when I get back into the country in about 3 weeks. We out.